Hi everyone, Bob here from Florida CAM Courses. Welcome to the September Chat with a CAM. This month's topic deals with rules, creating them, enforcing them, and maybe even eliminating some of them. We're happy to take any of your questions this morning. Simply type your question in the comment section on our Facebook page, and we'll try to get to as many as possible. So, rules. Community managers and board members are always being approached by the residents about suspected rule violators, or even more popular, the need to create rules. This is never an easy conversation, as most trained managers and board members know that a single incident or a random act does not necessarily require a new rule to be placed upon the residents. Remember, in a lot of cases, these rules are part of the contract the association and the owners have entered into. More often than not, it is just not that easy to change the contract or the land use restrictions upon all the owners because of a few. I think the first question board members and managers should ask themselves when requested to evaluate the rules for maybe a possible amendment is, are the association rules that we have reasonable now? Associations have a number of rules and regulations and restrictions that members are asked to observe so that everyone in the association can maintain their property values and quality of life. That's why they moved into a common interest community. The association should always try to be reasonable with the rules by following these simple guidelines. First, the association should make every effort to enforce rules uniformly and consistently, taking into account the consequences that may arise if this is not practiced routinely, such as with warnings and fines. Developing rules for the sake of having rules is unnecessary. The association should develop rules only if they are really required and create a purpose for the association. Next, all association rules are based on proper authority, either by the governing documents, state laws, or local laws. Make sure the association and the board has the authority. Check your bylaws, board members. The association should not make rules to limit member activities, but you must also ensure that each resident can enjoy the community free from the disruptive or harmful behavior of others. Its purpose is preserving the quality of life in the community. The association really doesn't want to punish anyone. It tries to make rules that encourage understanding and compliance, right? So even though owners are responsible to know and follow the rules, it's a good practice to remind residents to review the rules and regulations that are in place on the website, perhaps even in newsletter articles. Next, the board should follow legal requirements to inform homeowners about any changes made to the rules and regulations. The board should make sure it's adopting policies it can enforce that are fair and reasonable. Association rules are not quick fix problems for boards that are having an issue with only one homeowner. If a member believes a rule fails a reasonable test, the board should be notified at the next meeting. The board should then review the rule, listen to comments from the residents of the community, and consider how they can improve upon it. The rules of an association are in place to benefit all the members in the community. Consistency and fairness will aid in the quality of life in the association. The rules are in place for a reason, and if everyone follows the rules, the outcome will prove to be a positive place to live. So with that said, let's move on to enforcing these rules. It's uber important that all enforcement efforts be in writing. All written first notices of a rule violation should be sent to the member along with a photo if possible. The letter should state what the violation is and what period of time the owner has to cure the violation. When that period of time has passed, a second notice of violation must be sent informing the owner that the issue is being watched and enforced, and failure on the owner's part to remedy the violation will result in harsher action. Whether that be the association resolve the issue on its own and is charging the offending owner, or in even some extreme cases, issuing a fine against the owner. The bottom line here is to enforce the rules the association has in place and be super consistent in the enforcement of those rules. If the board determines a rule is not enforceable, they should approach the members to have it removed if it's a restriction, or voted out on a board level. Everyone has to get treated the same, and most of all, make sure that you document. You never know if this issue will end up in court. So that's it for rules enforcement. Let's take some of your